So I just finished color grading a feature film, which just wrapped, and it's something that I'm comfortable with, and I've enjoyed the challenge, but I knew that they were on a time frame and that they were working against deadlines that were going to be really hard to hit, so I was looking for a device to speed things up, and I went out and I got a tangent ripple, which turned out to be exactly what I was looking for, so I wanted to discuss it with you guys a little bit further. This device obviously doesn't make up for my prior years of color grading experience, and it isn't a fix-all for somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, but it is absolutely helpful. This is not going to instantly make you know what you're doing, but if you already know what you're doing, you're going to be doing it at a much faster rate, and time equals money. It makes things much simpler, it's super intuitive, and you could be adjusting to multiple selections at once. And anyone that's spent any time color grading knows it's often a push and a pull to get your colors where you need them to be. It has three 46mm trackballs which can be taken out for cleaning that are set in optical pickups. It comes with the standard size USB plug and it's bus powered, so it doesn't require an external power supply, which is awesome. It measures 13 by 5.9 inches and 2 inches off the desk. On the underside, it also has a place for you to move the cord to one side or the other for better cord management. And the Tangent Mapper program allows you to program the 8 programmable buttons. Now, I don't think you can truly appreciate what this device is going to do for you until you see it in action. So let's take a more hands-on approach. Now, I have downloaded some B-roll shots so that we can take a peek at what can be done with this thing and what can't. We're going to grade with the scopes open so that we get a better understanding of how that color is being affected and by which style. But if I were to take this image, we've got our scopes on the side here. It's looking a little dark to me, although I am, there it is there. So I can also, let's bring up the mid-tones just a touch. You can see the image is getting done, and this whole thing is pretty yellow, so let's pull that down a bit. Right, so you can see how very little movement there is actually getting me to quite a bit. So we've got without it and then with it, and that took me just a moment here. Like this one, quite a bit of, I'm missing, quite a bit out of the low end, quite a bit at the high end. So let's get this started here. Let's bring that down. Let's bring that up as well at the same time. Let's bring up our mid-tones. Let's adjust the color here. Yeah, that's starting to look good. Whoop. Just reel that back in. So it, much simpler. If we were to take another one here, just keep working our way down the line. This little pirate guy. I just downloaded all this footage. This isn't something I made, but so yeah, he's got the same. He needs a little bit more high and low. Let's bring down those mid-tones. It's a little orangey. Pull that out. There you go. Okay, so you can see it's pretty easy to do a basic grade. I mean, there it is before, there's after. We're just bringing the highlights. I'm not really taking my time with this, but should give you an idea of what we're doing here. I did want to get into some things that this might not do for you. Now you can see every time I'm doing it, I'm opening up this tangent, I'm opening up this color finale and I'm bringing in, there's a lot of different features over here. The tangent ripple is going to do just the master setting, like it can bring it way down or it can bring it up, you know, or some combination therein, right? And then it can also reset all that stuff so that we're not doing anything too crazy. But one thing that it can't do, which let's get this. So for grading this shot, we're going to bring up the mids. I like to bring up the mids. Touch on this a little bit. But what it can't do is stuff outside of that. So if I wanted to add a curves adjustment, I still need to use my mouse. It's not an end-all be-all, but it's pretty cool. So we'll add a nice little curves adjustment there, and then we take some of these vectors, and maybe I want this blue to be, you know, a little bit more that way. Maybe take these greens and bring them down. Bring in some of that. Maybe some of this yellow and these trees here. Let's make that a little bit more green, so it's a little bit more luscious. Tend to it, that sort of thing. So it can't make adjustments like these. It can only do these here, which is going to get you pretty far, but not all the way. But you can see, I mean, there's what we started with. There's after, just some quick, easy stuff. If you guys like, I'll do a whole color finale video, but you know, definitely something to keep in mind. It does do wonders at the things that it's going to do wonders at, but it's not an end-all be-all. And it's not going to counteract knowing how to do these things either, so just be aware of that. You know, make it look a little nicer. And it's easy because you could just touch it. You know, you don't have to, you know, I can make pretty wild color adjustments just moving these things around. You know, if we're looking for something real crazy times, I mean, that's actually pretty cool. I kind of like those colors. You know, you can make really dramatic, really positive color changes, maybe add a title there, and that could be a good opening sequence. Maybe, you know, some other things. So it's important to look at this and know that it's not going to be the end results for you, but it is going to allow you to make some pretty dramatic color changes. You can always start over if you want. You know, this is where we were. We can make something a little more subtle. Maybe a little bit more gold this time. Right? You know, so it's really easy to get pretty complex looks with it. Definitely something to check out. Now, I use this every day for months editing this feature film, which, you know, it premiered in theaters and it's already gotten distribution. That's about all that you can ask for a color control surface, and let alone one at this price point. And it was wonderful throughout. It allows you to stop looking at the effects browser and the controls and to pay attention to your image where you need to be putting your attention. You can lock into the picture and you can really just feel it out and get it going. If you're looking for a control board or you're dipping your toes in the water before you're taking the plunge into something more expensive, this is the right way to go. If you have the money to spare and you know you're more serious about your color grading and you're already accepting a sizable amount of work, you know, go with the tangent ripple or the tangent wave or even some of the Avid control surfaces. Those are going to be much better built. You know, the color grading is a part of my business, but it's not a huge part, so I needed a compromise, and this I found was right for me. It is made out of cheap materials, but you know, I can't really fault them for that because, you know, it's made out of cheap materials so that it can be put into the market as a cheap alternative to much more expensive and better built options. You know, of course it's made out of cheap materials. They put their money where it should have gone, which is into the sensors and the tactile bits, which are flawless. You know, the tangent ripple I found was right for me. It may not be for everybody, but if if I could spend the 30 grand on a color board that took up my whole desk, you can bet that I would have already spent that money. But this puts it at your fingertips in a reasonable time and you know, price point. I've included a link down below so that you guys can get it for yourself. If you like this video, please subscribe. There's a subscribe button. If you haven't already, please get the bell on, as I say. But it was a pleasure as always, my friends and confidants, and you have a wonderful evening.